Hello and welcome to the full-length version of the Lancia LC2 running the endurance race at Spa. I've got LTS upgrades and let's see who I'm racing. Speed Junkie holds the #1 spot, so I've got to go at least 100 kilometers to get maximum fame payout. Now first things first, my setup. No assists is completely necessary here. I prefer tilt B, I'll show you why. Steering sensitivity, kind of whatever you want, I like too. And then I'm also going to enable guided access, which I'll have to get to in another video. It means no one's going to interrupt me with texts or anything like that. Okay, for lap 1, you got to watch for slow bots and you've got to drive fast. And I'm going to be providing some explanations. Nice thing about lap 1 is that the bots are always going to be in the same spot, so you can kind of get a rhythm going and figure out where they're going to be. Like I know for a fact that after I'm done clearing Eau Rouge and Radillon, that I've got to watch for a slow bot that's just going to get out of my way as I take the inside corner there. And then coming up, there's going to be one bot that I'm going to go left over and then right over the other ones. And I'm going to do a lot more explaining. So all the cuts I'm taking, you have to take these. One thing that you need to know about endless endurance races is that it will never become endless if you do not run fast enough and consistent enough. So for instance, in this race, in my tests, I've been hitting the perpetual point either the end of lap 4 or somewhere in lap 5. Now, perpetual point means the point where the bots are going to be close together like they are now, but it'll never stop. So if you've done endurance races, you know that the bots are going to get spaced out more and more. Now here's a great example of why you have to be careful. Watch what's going to happen with this bot coming up, and I've got to plan this pass out very well. Now I went by him like a rocket. That's because he nailed the brakes for that corner. If you've driven this track a lot, you know that the bots do that a lot. But in lap 1, he's driving like a Sunday driver, okay? Adapt to slightly faster bots. So they're not going to be as slow as they were in lap 1, but they're still going to be slow. And at the speeds I'm going, and with the braking power of this car, which is not as good as modern cars, you really got to be planning for it and be prepared for it. So that's what I was referencing. That's why I'm kind of giving you a theme for each lap, and you've got to watch it. So even here, like, look how close that was. You should go back and check that out. I was freakishly close to nailing that guy. Now, because I've ran this quite a lot now, I know what to expect each lap. Now that time, I didn't want to drive off track, but I just need to keep going. I probably should have taken the outside pass in retrospect, but I just want to keep going. And here, I've got to be careful. I don't want to go off track, but I don't want to slow down. So again, you need to be running fast back-to-back laps. So I'm on lap 2. If I really blow at this lap, I'm going to push the perpetual point back at least one more lap, maybe even 2. If you've got 2 bad laps in those first few, you probably will never get the perpetual point. It's just going to end. It'll just be like every other endurance race. So that's what makes it happen in all the versions of these races. There's a lot of versions. There's, of course, short track. You can do that in piles of cars. I've got a video that shows that. And just hold on for a second, lap 3, so we have to do more adaptation, adapting to slightly faster bots. Okay, you saw how I just drove off track there? I was coming to that corner with way too much speed. I proved in a video I did a little while back that the greatest braking power you have in this game is actually when all 4 tires are off track. If only 2 tires are off track, that's the worst braking power you have. But when all 4 are off track, you've got better braking power than when all 4 are on track. So once in a while, if I need to dump some speed fast, I go off track and dump it. I'm going to get more into that last cut and the trouble that can cause you in this car at this track. Now, I had to really get out of the gas there, and you got to be careful. You got to remember, when you pass a car, it's 5 seconds till he disappears. And typically when you pass a car, I don't know why, but they tend to get more aggressive for those last 5 seconds. So if you're not careful, you can have a race-ending disaster from some crazy bot who's disappearing into the netherworld, or whatever we want to call it. So I'm not going to have to worry about this guy very much because this is lap 3. That guy up there, he's going to slow down a pinch, but he's not going to get into my way like that other guy was on lap 1, which is just crazy. Yeah, see, look at that. No trouble at all. And again, that cut, that is hard. To maximize it, it's tricky. So, this is getting to one of the harder parts in the race where the bots are going to be more spread out. Now, something interesting here, I had to watch this replay a couple of times to actually see what happened. I'm actually hitting the perpetual point right up in front of me. It's really early. I've never hit it this early. But if you watch ahead, you can see that there's actually a lot of bots. They should be more spread out. But look, there's already quite a few of them. Now, they're going to get closer than this. But yeah, this is the earliest I've ever hit it. I didn't even know I hit it until something that happens further up here. But again, look down the track, you can see I shouldn't be having that many bots right now. So this is really early. Typically in my tests, I was hitting it around 25 to 30 km. No, I'm sorry, not 25. More like 28, like getting about to the end of this lap. I usually would hit them on the last cut of this lap. This corner here is where I blow it. You see that? That corner is one of the most important corners on this track when you're doing this race, because from that point on, I'm staying full throttle for a long time. If you blow that corner, you are wasting a huge chunk of this particular lap on this track. So I'm not lifting off the gas till this section right here. Now here you can obviously see that I'm at the perpetual point because the bots are slow and they're grouped together. Okay, so here we go. From this point forward, bots are at max speed. I'm not going to put any more headings like that for the next few laps, for the rest of the laps, because the bots won't get any harder than this. Now I was checking the windshield there. My windshield's still really good, so I'm actually able to overtake him here because even at max speed, they're braking a little bit at the Eau Rouge Radillon corner. In most cars, you do have to brake there. Not on this one. This one is a rocket with amazing downforce. So sometimes people say, why do you still drive so aggressively after you've hit the perpetual point? I want to keep it going. Now, I might be overdriving a bit, and I'm going to get into why I bang these guys in the side a bit later here. Now, you notice in this section, I do a really short braking point prior to that big loop, and I'll get into that next time. So here we come. Got to really set this up nicely, and it's hard when there's bots in the way. See, I didn't want to tap that guy. I wanted to go to his left. Let's see, I'll get a look at the windshield. It's still looking pretty good there. Yeah, my windshield's nice and clear, so that means that I'm still going to be running at my maximum ability, my car's maximum abilities. So that's great. Now I got to, again, watch this, because you want to come into this fast. You don't want to hit someone with your front. That's how you damage your car. Now, do I have to scrub any speed? No, I'm okay. The difficulty about that section is the amount of speed I have will greatly vary. If I really mess up that cut, then I'm going to have my braking point quite late. But if I really plow through that cut heading into the start-finish straightaway, if I really plow through it nicely, well, I'm going to come in there with a lot more speed, and I'm going to have to brake several car lengths earlier. Oh, that is bad. Okay, let's check the damage. Oh, wow. No damage at all. Did you notice how I pitched my car to the side and I hit him mostly with the side? Sometimes if you do that, you'll get no damage even after a big hit. All right, let's keep it going. So you see right there, I braked very little before getting back on the gas. And I love that corner in this car. I don't like that corner in most cars. In this car, it's awesome. Okay, I want to get ahead of this guy. He's kind of in my spot, so that's going to blow my setup for that corner again. The best way to handle a blown corner like that is just to really focus and do the best you can. So the next spot that I could try to make that up is at this cut coming up. So I really want to get this nice and smooth, try to carry a lot of speed through it, and and not do that. But again, I'm being very fortunate. That was low speed enough that I don't have any damage. And my timer's doing good. I maximized there. Oh boy. Again, light taps like that you can get away with. I should catch this guy here, but will I be able to pass him? Okay, so I'm going to bang into this guy a little bit because it makes him hit the brakes. Now that only works if you're currently passing him and you're slightly clearing him. You start banging into a bot a little bit, he's going to nail the brakes. And that works in every single part of this game. But if you're in a cup race and the bot starts passing you, bashing him like that is not going to make him nail the brakes. It's probably just going to cause an accident. Okay, so this will be an interesting one. Go on the outside. And they still hit the brakes right there. So, oops, got to be careful. Got to be careful getting back on track so that I don't get T-boned. So I stayed off track a little bit extra. Okay, so even at max speed, bots brake at that point when they don't have to. That's good to know. You got to keep that in your mind. So if you're encountering a bot right at that spot, you're going to rear end him. You've got to be ready to pass him. So if you've been watching, shortly after the yellow-red corner here, that's when I'm going to start my cut. I steer a little bit over to the right and then back to the left. Sometimes the grass just grabs your car and there's just not much you can do about it. You got to really nail the brakes, kind of wreck your momentum. Again, I went in too fast, had to scrub some speed, went off track. So I haven't driven this long without being more heavily damaged. I'm not really used to it. So there, that was a great pass. Once I get maximum damage at my current upgrades, that will not be possible. Again, I've got LTS upgrades, which for this car means all threes. I will show you that after this race is over. I'll prove it to you just so you know. If you've got a fully upgraded Lancia LC2, then your braking points are going to be different. Some stuff's going to be different for you, and it definitely should be easier. Now, I took that corner great. Look at my closing rate on this guy. So again, he's going to hit the brakes here. I need to be prepared for it. Oh, nuts. Okay, now I'm going to be at maximum damage. I'm pretty sure of it. Once I get an area to check, which is not now, because this is a very bad spot to catch a bot. Yeah, and again, I've just lost this whole back section here. I've really lost some time. Oh, wow. After a hit like that, I just have minimal damage. One big crack. That means I'm still going to have some decent handling and speed here. Okay, there's another corner that I haven't talked about yet. That is the second most important corner, and that is the next corner. The next corner is definitely also equally one of the most important corners, because from here on out, from this point forward, I don't brake until I'm at the very top of the hill. In fact, most of the time I don't brake at all. I just lift. And if I'm desperate, I won't brake. I will try to take the cut at the top full speed. It is extremely risky because if you get it wrong, you're going to have a race-ending crash. Now I've got to adapt. He should not be in my way. I'll have to hit the brakes a bit and then back into the gas. Look at my timer. I should be able to get this guy. Try to set him up in the corner. Yeah, there we go. Now this corner with this much damage, I can actually, well, okay, I messed it up there. If you set up that corner properly with this much damage, you don't have to lift off the accelerator. I don't know why. It's just the balance of loss of acceleration, loss of top end, and the amount of grip I still have left. But you've got to have it set up just right or it's not going to work. Okay, I've got a bot on the way, but I should be able to do an inside pass. Oh boy, well, let's see what that did. Oh, look at all those cracks. Well, I'm at maximum damage. Well, you're going to see me doing a lot more of that, so let's call that a bump pass. That's what that was. To effectively do a bump pass, you need to know the proper braking point and then brake one or two, probably 2 car lengths late, so that you're just hitting the bot a bit, which will shove him through the corner. If you hit him too hard, you both go off track. So there, I was actually trying to go under him and pass. I wasn't trying to bump him. Going that slow, there's no way that a bump pass will work. Okay, so here we are in the famous Eau Rouge Radiant section, and you can watch, I'm not going to catch him because I've lost too much speed. However, taking that really good is going to set this up. Now I should be able to pass him on the left and the next guy on the right. No. Okay. Well, there we go. Actually, I guess I still kind of did it, but not how I thought. And that I wasn't expecting. He was going slower than I thought. But look, you can see. Look at my timer. Look how full that is. If I keep this going nicely... Oh, and that's a risky pass. Hey, that brings us to another very important theme, and that is know your limits. You need to know the limits of off-track everywhere on this track, but well, especially on key passing points. How far can you go before you're off track? I don't mind going off track once in a while, as you've seen, but sometimes it's really bad to go off track because you're going to lose a pile of momentum. Again, I'm not going to have to worry about this guy. There's no way I'm going to catch him. I don't think they're tapping the brakes at that section at all. Hard to say unless I was right on his tail. Now that time, that did not go well at all. I've lost a lot of speed. I've got to be careful about him. I thought he might have been coming on my left. So I can brake late and set up a nice run here. I do have trouble with that corner and maximizing it, partially because I don't want to blow the corner. If you completely blow that corner, you pretty well could lose the race right here, because I'm not going to pass anyone up this whole section. Just keep your eye on my timer. Watch how low it gets before I pass the next spot. I will catch someone at this exchange right here. Caught one, caught two, gotta be careful. Oh, so look at that. I lost a lot of time, and it takes a while to get back up to speed. So I drove deeper into that corner. Now something I have a tendency of doing, almost stayed full throttle that time. Something I have a tendency of doing is when I make a mistake, I overdrive the rest of the lap and make more mistakes. Now right now I'm nervous. With 50 seconds, I cannot make it to the end of this lap. I really want to catch one more bot if I can. Or can I? Maybe I'll just make it. Now watch my closing rate. See, that's interesting. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know that at this point, those bots actually drive faster than a fully upgraded car. I don't know why, but you'll see it on long straights at Le Mans or at Indy Speedway. They start to drive away from you at the end of the straight, even when you're fully upgraded. Ah, there we go. That was a really good grouping of bots. One interesting thing about these endurance races, if you keep running fast back-to-back laps, the bots can actually get even closer together. Now, there's a limit on how close they will get, but I've certainly noticed that, like right now, they're a little bit closer than they were at other points of the race. So that means I've been running really nice laps. Now by now you've seen how I've done this quite a lot. Whoa, that one I pushed it a little bit harder than normal. But again, look at that timer. That's just great. So part of the reason why I need to stay super aggressive here is that I don't know when I'm going to make a horrible mistake. Like, that's a really minor mistake right there. I'm going to catch up with this guy at this next corner if I take it properly. There we go. Lots of gaining here. I might even be able to bump past him here. Let's see. No, I don't need to bump past him. I can just do a legitimate pass. And that guy's far enough ahead, he won't be in my way here. Let's see how much I can catch him, though. Oh, that's surprising. Well, let's dump him off track. See, that's the one thing I love about having this much damage is you can just dump people. It just doesn't matter. You don't want to get too crazy with it and lose a pile of momentum, though. Right, and you've seen the cut a lot. Oh, I lost a bit more than I wanted to, but that was a nice setup. Now let's dump this guy just because we can. Not too bad there. So I'm making this look pretty easy, but again, at any second now, I could blow it and be in a lot of trouble. Because again, yeah, I'm not going to catch that guy till the top of the hill. So, you know, the timer can get a little bit scary. It's going to get to the low 60s, might even get right down to 59. Yeah, got down to 58. Oop, gotta be careful there. So I learned from the past that if I take a corner that wild, it's better if I hit the brakes quite a bit before getting back on track, because I overshot that corner last time that happened to me. Now there, I could tell my trajectory into the corner was bad. I lifted off the throttle for just a fraction of a second. And there's not a very good mistake with 40 seconds on the clock. See how fast that this can become a dangerous race. So I'm going to have to bump past this guy. I'm not feeling good about that 30. There we go. Shove him off track. 38 seconds is good. I might get down to about 15 by the time I'm taking a cut. Oh, not even that bad. Time seems to move so slow when you're driving. Oh, oops. Hey, by the way, something weird you might be noticing. The longer you drive a race like this, the more out of sync the crash sounds get. Some of these crash sounds sound like the audio's way off, but then there'll be one that it's bang on. It's a funny phenomena that I've noticed when doing these really long endurance races, is that things just kind of get out of sync. I love taking these corners in this car. In most cars you'd have to brake there, but not in this one. My timer's dangerously low, so I'm going to do something incredibly risky and stay full throttle through this cut. Nice. This is not good. I've got to stay incredibly aggressive. Again, I bash him. Another reason why I bash him is that he was going to be on my tail as I was getting into that corner and being right in my way. Now here again, I'm going to hit him. I don't want him to wreck the setup of this corner. My timer's low. I can't afford any mistakes here. Got to be really aggressive. Now at this point, I might be okay until the finish line, but I'm going to keep pushing it. Bump past this guy. Oh, see, there you go. Look at that. I almost got swiped by him. But now I'm feeling confident. And that's important, because if I get to the next lap, yep, by the end of the next lap, I should be hitting that 100-kilometer mark right around the end of the next lap. And for me, that's monumental. You know, you're getting into the triple-digit distances. I guess for you guys who run miles per hour, it's not that. It's a while before the monumental point hits. Okay, checking my speed. Pretty good going into the corner. Again, I could be maximizing that a little bit more. Probably something that I could take note of is the exact speed I should be going at the start-finish line to maximize my braking points. If I was really going to run this a lot, I would do that. By the way, I'm definitely going to get into the math on this one. So I'll get into all of the fame per lap, the fame per minute, and then that'll be a good comparison for other races. This was going to be the lengthy how-to video. All the ins and outs of doing it. Oops. I've noticed if I get a little bit sideways going to that corner, it's really hard to get it back. But again, here, it's crazy how short of a braking distance you can do there. I love that corner in this car. And actually, this corner took me a long time to feel good at that corner, but I feel pretty good at that corner now. And again, looking decent, you know, 50 seconds, 51 when I was exiting that corner with bots in sight means no trouble at all. Okay, pretty soon we should see Speed Junkie's picture appearing on the horizon. It just flashed there. There he is. No doubt at all, he could have gone way further if he wanted to. With the distance of exactly 100.0, he chose to stop there. He's an amazing driver. Alright, I'm going to do one more lap and then I'm going to stop. But look at the bots. Look how close they are. So again, that shows you that I'm running pretty good lap times for this car. I don't think... No, there's no other race in this game where I've been able to do this in a car with just LTS upgrades, especially at Spa. It's really hard to do endless endurance races here. That's part of the reason why I love this so much, is it's just so hard to do that here. It's like Le Mans. The McLaren MP4X is the only car you can do that race endlessly. By the way, I've got a video for that. That race is harder than this one, but if you're interested, bing, it's up there on your right-hand side. And yeah, I definitely want to get you the numbers because, like I said, the MP4X at Le Mans, that is the highest paying race in this game. It is also the hardest race in the game. Porsche Short Track, that is a great place to start if you're just getting used to perpetual racing or endless racing. I'm going to have a few links for that. I've got some really in-depth teaching videos. One of them specifically shows you why you can't use assists and how they just ruin the race. Same with here. Like this big cut, well, I'm not going to take the cut this time around because I want to waste my clock, but if you tried to take that big cut with steering assist on, boy, it would fight you. It would just wreck it for you. Alright, well, might as well do some donuts and play around a little bit. I've got some time to waste. And again, I'll get you to the final numbers. I'm going to go through it. I'm running this on 30% fame day. And this time around, I hired the agent, so numbers should look good. Yeah, that windshield's pretty trashed. I've got to end this right at the line to find out my fame per lap. But let's just speed through this to the numbers. Alright, here come the numbers. It's not bad. I didn't hire the manager. Let's get to the fame. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot to hire the agent. Oh well, I've still got numbers for you. So first I've got to remove the bonus fame amount, and then we can get to the fame per lap and the fame per minute. So that fame per minute is quite a lot lower than Porsche Short Track in several cars. Still, kind of a fun race. Here's some links to other endurance videos and other types of videos. So, I hope you enjoyed that video and thank you for watching.